Close is he to a title shot in sharing the ring with Bud Crawford?
I don't know. But Vergil, he's right there. He's right there. He's been proven that he belongs with the top fighters in the division. And, who knows? A couple of fights or next fight or whatever the case may be, he might be sharing the ring with Terence Crawford. You never know.
Victory, he just beat Canelo, the face of boxing. So that makes Canelo, that makes Crawford the face of boxing at the moment. And he earned the right to fight whoever he want to fight.
In Terence, if you come to 154, is there a chance? Was that the conversation you had?
Basically, I just said, hey, are you going to defend it? And he said, no, that's my last fight at the Canelo. I'm like, okay.
Terence Crawford responds to Vergil Ortiz's call-out by acknowledging him as a talented fighter who's proving his abilities. He speaks positively about Ortiz's rise and says the young contender has what it takes to compete at the top. When asked about the challenge, Crawford simply hints that the future remains uncertain.
Message now to Terence Crawford.
I'm here whenever. I'm ready to fight whenever. I'm here to fight anybody. I don't care if it's Crawford, Spence, Patrick.
Vergil Ortiz calls out Terence Crawford, declaring his goal to face the best fighters in the sport. He says challenges like Crawford motivate him to keep improving and proving himself among the elite. Confident in his power and growth at 154, Ortiz makes it clear he wants big names next.
I'm here to fight the best. I don't care who it is. It can be Boots next, it can be Spence next, it could be Crawford next, if he's still willing to do it. Because that's a fight that I've been calling for a while. I think that's a great fight to make happen still. And we're just gonna keep doing what I do.
Vergil Ortiz speaks with full confidence as he claims that even if Terence Crawford was still in his absolute prime, he could beat him. Ortiz says he studies every move Crawford makes and respects everything he has accomplished. But he believes strongly in his own power, speed, and timing. For him, confidence isn't arrogance. It's the result of the work he's put in since moving up in weight. Many view this as a bold statement, considering Crawford's dominance across multiple divisions and his status as one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Still, Ortiz doesn't see Crawford as unbeatable and insists he can find openings others missed. His comments spark debate among fans and experts about whether the young contender can truly match the experience and skill of a proven champion like Crawford.
Coming up, so we got Tim Tszyu, we got Crawford, Spence, or I guess you can say the winner of Spence or Fundora. Charlo's is a good one. Who else we got at 54?
You want to fight Terence Crawford right now?
I would love to fight him, man. I think he's like probably the #1 pound for pound fighter right now.
Do you think he's out of his peak?
No.
Or is he in his peak now?
I think he's in his peak.
And you're saying you could beat a peak prime Terence Crawford?
I'm saying I believe that I can.
I respect it 100%.
I believe that I can. No, I respect him as a fighter though. That's the thing. When I want to fight people, it doesn't mean that, oh, I don't like you. Like, let's get it on. It's more like I respect your skills and I want to see if I can.
After Vergil Ortiz defeated Israil Madrimov, many fans immediately compared his performance to Crawford's previous fight against the same opponent. Terence Crawford addressed those comparisons directly, saying that although Ortiz won, he didn't look dominant. Crawford pointed out that Madrimov didn't seem as sharp or conditioned as he was when Crawford fought him. In Crawford's view, Madrimov wasn't at his best that night, and Ortiz's win didn't prove much about how he would fare against an elite fighter like him. Crawford's response was calm but firm, making it clear he still sees himself on another level. Fans took his comment as a subtle reminder that while Ortiz is talented, Crawford's skill and fight IQ are what truly set him apart.
He was more prepared for my fight. If you watch him, he was winning the fight, and he gassed out.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He gassed out, and he said from, I don't know what type of sickness he had.
So condition-wise, he wasn't as prepared.
Yeah, that he had to pull out the first fight and come back. I don't know, but Vergil did good. He put a lot of pressure on him, and fought a good fight. But you could tell that he didn't leave unscarred. When you look at the faces of both fighters, you would have thought Vergil lost.
Oh, okay. I did hurt his hand. His knuckle was broken. I don't know if you've seen him like the last couple of Vergil Ortiz. Yeah, he had a broke hand, but he said he didn't know anyway. He didn't feel it throughout the fight.
It was a good fight. I thought Madrimov was doing too much moving.
Right.
You know, in the beginning rounds, which that was getting him the rounds in the bank, but at the same time, he was exerting too much energy.
How do you feel about when people say, because Eddie Hearn said it, a few people were saying it, that you moved up to 154 and you didn't have the success that you had in all these times. So they're thinking it's because of the weight, when I'm saying it's the style. Madrimov wasn't trying to commit as much, and you hurt him, he never hurt you.
Right.
So how do you feel about everybody saying that?
Well, I laugh. I won the fight. They making it seem like I lost.
Well, Eddie was like, no, I think that night in August, he was like, no, I don't know about that. I think, no, Eddie was, I believe Eddie was saying that.
Eddie was complaining about the scorecards. Nobody said Madrimov.
Eddie was saying that it was closer than that. Maybe Madrimov could have won. He was saying, I think he was. I think he was.
He's trying to get you mad at Eddie.
No.
Terence Crawford's next major move is already set. He is scheduled to face Carlos Adams on March 28th in Omaha, marking his step into the 160 pounds division. Crawford has said he plans to stay at this weight for 1 or 2 fights to earn another championship and become a 3-division undisputed champion. Adams is known for his strength and endurance, making this a solid first test for Crawford at middleweight. While the matchup brings excitement, it also raises questions about whether Crawford will return to 154 pounds to face fighters like Vergil Ortiz or Jaron "Boots" Ennis. For now, Crawford's focus is on adjusting to the new division and proving that his skills can carry him against naturally bigger opponents. Many analysts believe that if he wins these next fights, he will only strengthen his legacy as one of boxing's all-time greats.
Crawford can drop down to middleweight after defeating Canelo in September and becoming the undisputed super middleweight. Terence Crawford can now drop down to middleweight, 160, right? And become undisputed at 160 with 1 to 2 fights. 2 fights max, right? He'll be 39 years old in September. 2 fights, Terence Crawford can become undisputed, max at 160. He can fight Carlos Adames in March. And then he can fight the winner of Lara versus Janovic in the summertime, August, right? And this gives Terence Crawford the history he needs to 1000% cement himself as, in my opinion, it's all opinionated, but this just cements Terence Crawford as top 5 greatest boxers in history. In my opinion, it cements him as top 5 greatest boxers in history, because this will make Terence Crawford a 6-division champion and 4-division undisputed champion. That's what that makes Terence Crawford. That's historic. That's absolutely historic. And if Terence Crawford can pull that off, becoming a 6-division champion and a 4-division undisputed champion, that's massive, right? In my opinion, those accomplishments in the fashion that Terence Crawford wins these fights, he's not just winning. When he beat Errol Spence for undisputed, he dominated and stopped Errol Spence in a manner not many people saw coming. When he fought Canelo Alvarez, he did exactly what I thought he was going to do, dominate that fight.
Vergil Ortiz has long expressed interest in fighting Terence Crawford, but rumors claimed the WBO had offered him the fight twice, and he declined both times. In a later interview, Ortiz strongly denied those claims, saying he never received any official offer. According to him, if the opportunity had truly been presented, he would have accepted it immediately. He expressed frustration that the false story spread so easily and insisted that his team never turned down a fight with Crawford. Ortiz explained that he respects Crawford's accomplishments and sees that matchup as a career-defining challenge, not something to avoid. His response cleared up the confusion among fans who believed he had ducked the fight. He emphasized that timing and proper arrangements matter, but the desire to face Crawford has always been there.
You couldn't stay at that weight class, but then he moved up. Was there ever a point where the Terence Crawford fight was a reality, like a real offer, like real negotiations going back and forth, or was it never that close?
It was never that close, man. So, you know, I know a lot of people say that the WBO president said that we turned down the fight. I never got an offer. I wouldn't have said no. I would not have. I wanted that fight so bad. I mean, I'm not the type of person to say, oh, I want to fight this guy and keep pushing it and then get the opportunity and say no. There are fighters like that. I'm not like that.
Yeah,
you know,
we believe that.
I would have said yes, but.
What about your trainer, Robert? Have you ever had a conversation with him about the Terence Crawford fight?
More with my dad.
Okay.
More with my dad. You know, there were some days where he'll be like, you beat him if you fight like this, or if you fight like this, you don't beat him. So,
really? Your father really said
yeah, he would tell me. No, he tells me the truth. He tells me the truth. If you fight him like this, you beat him. Other days, you're not gonna beat him like this.
You know, you might not remember, but when we had our show, I believe it was called Sweet Scientist at the time with The Zone, and we had you on, and you were one of our first guests, and I asked you about Crawford, and you was like, nah, not yet, I'm not ready for him. You know, that was humble. No one really speaks like that. Now, you was ready for him maybe about 6 months later, but still you were humble enough to say that. Do you remember that?
I don't.
You know,
no, I don't.
Hell no, you can't.
Jaron Ennis, another top name at super welterweight, has also expressed interest in fighting Terence Crawford. However, he acknowledged that after Crawford's victory over Canelo Alvarez, the veteran became the face of boxing, meaning it's now up to him to decide his next move. Ennis has praised Crawford's achievements but made it clear he's ready whenever Crawford is. He said he doesn't chase fights out of desperation, yet he knows facing Crawford would give him a chance to prove himself against one of the sport's best technicians. Fans saw his words as both respectful and challenging after Vergil Ortiz's most recent victory. Ennis met him in the ring. The two exchanged words in a friendly but competitive way, instantly creating buzz around a possible matchup. The moment highlighted the tension and excitement already building between the two top contenders. Ennis currently holds the WBA super welterweight title, and before his fight with Erickson Lubin, he had hinted at wanting a clash with one of boxing's biggest names. Seeing Ortiz and Ennis share the ring after Ortiz's win gave fans hope for what could become one of the biggest events of 2026. The encounter showed that both fighters understand their rising reputations and the importance of making the matchups fans truly want to see.
I think this is one of the best American fights that can be made.
Sure.
And with all due respect to everyone else around the world, I think it has to be in America.
For sure.
Right?
It gotta be. I feel like you gotta do this one in the States because everybody wanna see it. Everybody go. I think it's a pay-per-view fight, and I think everybody will pay to see it, or everybody will come out to come see it wherever it's at, whether it's in Vegas, Madison Square Garden, wherever it's at.
What's your obviously you'd love it in Philly, but I don't think it'll be Philly, right?
No, absolutely.
Okay,
It's not gonna be in Philly. Yeah.
So where is the ideal spot for it? What deserves to host this fight? Which venue in your opinion?
To me, either anywhere in Vegas, so like the T-Mobile Arena,
yeah,
or maybe go old school MGM.
Oh man, I love the MGM.
Or we can go Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
I think Madison Square Garden would be crazy as well. That'd be historic as well. So either one.
There aren't enough big fights at the big MSG. No, I'm not talking about the theater.
No, I'm
Theater's
talking about
cool.
the big one.
Yes,
I'm talking about the big one. That's why I say I want to. I always wanted to fight at MSG anyway. Yeah. So, I like how it looks in there. It's real. It's really
incredible.
Nice. When they have fights and stuff in there. So, for me, it would be either the T-Mobile Arena or take it back. We can go old MGM, or we can do, Madison Square Garden.
Do you think he would say yes to MSG because that's kind of a home game for you, right? That's so close to Philly.
I mean, I feel like he has a deep fan base, and I feel like all his fans and stuff will come. If it was to be in New York, I feel like they all will come. He got a good fan base. I got a good fan base. I feel like it'll make for a great fight. And who don't want to come to New York?
Oh my God. There was a time where MSG was holding all these big fights, and now I feel like, every couple of years we get, when we got Taylor Serrano, prior to that, it was, Brooklyn's cool and all, but we got to go back to the Mecca. The Mecca is the best. I would absolutely love that. In your perfect world as well, he fights November 8th.
Yep.
How soon could we get this fight? You obviously didn't get hurt in your fight, I would imagine, right? 72 seconds?
Yeah.
Unless something happened?
I mean, it depends on how his fight go. You know, if he's in a war, yeah, maybe we'll see. Maybe April, March, April. You know, if not, if he make quick work of it, who knows? We could be back in there sooner. You know, so it's all for real. It's all up to how him right now, because he the one that has a fight. You know, hopefully he doesn't get no cuts, no broken hands or anything, or anything hurt on him. So it's dependent on him at the moment.
The other two options, of course, Sebastian Fundora and I think Xander Zayas. Yeah. What I'm hearing is there is some interest from MSG to have you versus Xander Zayas at MSG. Are you hearing this as well?
I'm with whatever. That's what I'm I can't wait.
You want all these guys? I like these options for you.
I'm really about to show y'all. Like, I'm about to run through these guys. I'm about to run through these guys and show y'all one by one. Like, this 154 really mine, and I'm gonna shut everybody up. I can't wait. I hear the little chatters and all the little talks.
What do you hear? What's bothering you? What are people saying?
It's just little
They're
things.
questioning you?
Yeah, they questioning, and it's cool, and I love it. They not doing nothing but like adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
And it's gonna make it worse each and every time for whoever stepping in the ring with me.
Seeing what Terence did not that long ago, did that give you motivation? Because it feels like for the longest time, people were questioning him, doubting him. He wasn't getting the big opportunities.
Tim Bradley, an American former professional boxer, voiced his doubts about a potential Vergil Ortiz versus Boots Ennis matchup. Bradley claimed that Ennis might not want to face Ortiz at this stage because of the risk involved. He suggested that Ennis's team may prefer to wait for a bigger payday or a more favorable situation before accepting that fight. Bradley's comments sparked discussions across boxing circles, with some fans believing Ennis would take the fight immediately, while others agree it's smarter to build more hype first. Either way, his statement added more intrigue to an already heated topic, making the rivalry between Ortiz and Ennis even more talked about.
Sudden, you come up, you got that Benz now, you know what I'm saying? Back then they didn't want you, now you hot, they all on you. Yeah. This is one of them situations right here. Where it's like, oh, back then you didn't want me. Now I'm hot. Now you all up on me. Man, did you see Boots? How he jumped up in the ring? I didn't know if that was Boots or Rick Ross. I was like, damn, is that Rick Ross in there? Like, all the jewelry he had on and everything. I'm like, who the hell is this dude? Is this the grown-up version of Boots? Because I ain't never seen all them chains all over my man, blinging, blacka, bling, and all up on his chest and everything. I ain't never seen that before. I'm like, this dude got a new persona. Is this the killer Boots? This is what we've been waiting on? Because I'm sitting...
Promoter Eddie Hearn spoke openly about the complications surrounding a potential Vergil Ortiz versus Jaron Ennis fight. He criticized some of the demands from both camps, saying negotiations have been difficult because each side feels its fighter deserves a bigger share. Hearn noted that Ennis's team often insists he is the better boxer, while Ortiz's side seeks fair recognition for his record and fan following. He explained that although the matchup could be huge for the sport, it stalled due to business disagreements and scheduling conflicts. Hearn even mentioned that, at the moment, arranging a Crawford versus Ortiz fight might be easier than organizing Ortiz versus Ennis. His comments highlighted how complex high-profile boxing negotiations can be, even when both fighters clearly want the bout.
There's nothing but respect from us, but we just know we win. And, it's not for us. Once you start hearing things like, we're the A side and we want 10 million and we want, what does Boots? It's like, what? Guys, Ortiz has never been a world champion. Great fighter. Boots has been world champion. He's been a unified champion. But neither of them are world champions now. They're just the top two fighters in the division. So if you truly believe that you're the best, make the fight. And it'll be really interesting to now see if they truly believe. Because the fight's there, the fight's done, the money's there, the pay-per-view's there. I mean, it's a massive fight, but you can find an excuse if you don't want to do it. So we'll see.
And obviously we saw the fighters face off, and we know you want the fight, the fighters clearly want the fight. And you mentioned the $10 million mark by Rick Merigian, I believe his name is, the manager of Vergil Ortiz. Do you see it as an obstacle? I mean, is it a real obstacle?
If you come out with things, look.
Vergil Ortiz recently commented on Terence Crawford's current weight situation, saying he doesn't believe Crawford will drop back down to 154 pounds, as the champion has bulked up and adapted to higher weight classes. After moving up to face Canelo Alvarez and preparing for middleweight bouts, Crawford's focus seems to have permanently shifted upward. Ortiz respects that but admits it makes their potential fight harder to arrange. He added that he isn't waiting around and will continue taking big fights in his own division. Still, he remains hopeful that someday the timing might align for them to meet in the ring. Right now, the conversation around Ortiz, Crawford, and Jaron Ennis highlights how exciting the future of boxing looks in the higher weight classes. Ortiz's confidence and hunger for big fights are driving his rise, while Crawford's calm responses and strategic career choices reflect the mindset of an experienced champion who knows his worth.
No, so he's not coming back to 154. I spoke to him. This is my first time saying it on media. I spoke to him, and he's not going to come back to 154. He's going to fight his 2 last fights and retire. And you know what? I respect it because he's been undisputed at 140, at 147. Get your money and get out. I mean, what else do you have to prove? You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's...
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned, and see you next time.